Hello, thank you for watching this box set on drafting commercial leases. There are 6 parts to it, and I'll go through a different section of the lease in each one. Now, first thing to say is that drafting commercial leases seems quite daunting at first, and you think, well, surely isn't it all standard? And the client, unfortunately, also thinks that everything is standard and it's just a piece of paper that they sign. But unfortunately, it's much more complicated, and they only realise the importance at either at the end when they hit the dilapidations claim, or during the middle of the lease where they want to do something and the landlord says no, and they say, well, that's not fair. Well, as I've said in many times, commercial property is just like the Game of Thrones. It's just as ruthless, but just that nobody gets killed. And it starts being ruthless when the client goes to see the agent to negotiate the terms of the lease. And obviously, the commercial agent has been negotiating lease terms for a long time and is acting in the interests of the landlord. And they will try and browbeat your client into accepting terms which aren't really acceptable, but your client will feel some kind of moral obligation to accept what the agent says because they won't want to admit their naivety or their misunderstanding. And it's very rare that they will ask the solicitor acting for them to advise them at any point before they do agree the heads of terms. But the good news is that heads of terms are not binding. And certainly, as we'll look at later, the RICS Commercial Code on Leases says that they should not be binding and subject to later negotiation.